Hi guys! How are you? Um, Charot. So anyways, huwag nyo na tingnan yung room ko, please. It's not maayos. Sa akin na lang kayo mag-focus, okay? Anyways, so I want I wanted to share something to you guys. Gusto ko sana yung mag-video na lang, video call, pero um, internet there is not that fast. Tapos connecting. So, I decided to just record this video and then afterwards you can talk it with yourselves. You can share it. You can have your sharing afterwards. Okay? So, gusto ko sana may slides para feeling yung may feels pa. Wally feels. Pero anyways. Sige. So, this is it. So, sino dito ang mahilig mag-selfie? Ako. Alam ko, marami dyan sa inyo. Si Rochelle, pag nasa kanya yung phone mo, madami ka ng selfie after. Si Gia, ewan ko nandyan siya ngayon. Selfie body ko yan. And alam ko madami sa'yo mahilig mag-selfie. So, my sharing today is, the title, if you wanna write it down, the title of my sharing is about take a selfie. So, if you can turn your Bible in the book of James, chapter 1, verses 22 to 25. I'll read it. Teka lang. Sorry, hindi ako na-prepare. So, James 1, 22 to 25. So, I have here from the Passion Translation. Sarap. Parang beauty product. From the Passion Translation, I'll read it to you guys. James 1, 22 to 25. Bakit ganito? Don't just listen to the word of truth and not respond to it, for that is the essence of self-deception. So always let His word become like poetry written and fulfilled by your life. If you listen to the word and don't live out the message you hear, you become like the person who looks in the mirror of the word to discover the reflection of his face in the beginning. You perceive how God sees you in the mirror of the word, but then you go out and forget your divine origin. But those who set their gaze deeply into the perfecting law of liberty are fascinated by and respond to the truth they hear and are strengthened by it. They experience God's blessings in all that they do. Yeah. Ito yung do not merely just listen to the word but do it. You're just like a man who looks at himself in the mirror and forgets what he sees. Yung yan na version sa NIV. Ito yun siya. Maganda kasi yung Passion Translation kay yung passionate siya masyado mapakinggan. Anyway, so my question. People today loves taking selfies, right? But why? Why do people love taking selfies? So, ni-research ko yan. Initially, dapat survey sa inyo, pero kapoy naman. So, I researched it, and I got 5 reasons why people love taking selfies. So, first, it's for self-exploration. So, it means feeding our desire to understand ourselves better in a visual way. Kumbaga, mas makita natin ating self when we see it. 'Di ba pag mag-take ka ng selfie, hala, ang pimple ko, hala, ang ano ko, ganyan. So, self-exploration. We are able to take and retake pictures of ourselves until we can produce an image that comes closer to matching our perception of what we think we look like. So this is according to a neuroscientist here in London named James Kilmer. Hindi ko alam kung buhay pa ba siya. So, we take selfies because first, self-exploration. Di ba? When we take selfies, madaming siya masyado. It's not just one shot. We take lots of shots and then we choose yung picture na we think ito tayo. Ganyan. How we perceive ourselves. Ganyan. Second, to control the image we communicate to others or the world. So, kumbaga, like I said, kung every time you take selfies, madami siya masyado, pilian mo siya kasi gusto mo yung i-post mo sa social media is the picture that you want people to see. How people want to see you. Like, nag-selfie ka na nandito ka sa ganyan, so you want people to see na, ewan ko ba, na kaya mo makapunta sa ganito or something like that. Anyways. Third is narcissism. Wala, you just love yourself. You just love seeing yourself. Fourth is the need for popularity. Kaya sometimes when we take our selfies, some people, they look at how many likes that they get. Ganyan. And fifth is the need to belong to a group. So, kasi sometimes, when people see na, ay, maganda siya, uy, maganda yung selfie niya, cool yung selfie niya, oh, he belongs to our group, yan. So, human factors. So, taking a selfie is like looking yourself in the mirror. You check if you look good. Diba? Open ka ng phone. Tingnan mo sarili mo. Ay, hindi ako naka-selfie mo. Yan. Tingnan mo sarili mo. Tapos, ayusin ka, ganyan. And then, kung feeling mo na okay na siya, you take the picture na. You capture it. And then, hindi ka pa satisfied sa isa. You take a couple more photos before you review them. And when you review them, you check which photos are good and which are not. And then, you keep the good ones and you delete the bad ones. Diba? Then, you find the best among the good ones. And then, you post it on social media. So, that's how we are. But, have you taken an in-depth selfie? Ako, I admit, mahilig ako mag-selfie. Pero mas selfie ako dyan kaysa sa dito. But anyways, the question is, ask yourself, have I taken an in-depth selfie of myself? Siyempre, in-depth selfie. So, let's review the steps of how to take a selfie. So, first, checking your image. So, what do? You check if you look good against your camera selfie mode. Diba? That's what you do. So, the thing is, what kind of image do you see yourself? Are you being true? Or are you being a hypocrite? Are you living the life that you're preaching to others? Are you walking your talk? Or are you just all talk? So, check your image. Check yourself. It's the self-check part. Are you living what you're sharing to others? You tell others that you should read the Bible, you should pray, you should have faith, you should do this, you should do that. But then when you're not with them, you're doing other things which is not what you're preaching to them. Gets, So, is it just all talk or are you walking the talk? James 1:22. Don't just listen to the word of truth and not respond to it, for that is the essence of self-deception. So always let His word become like poetry, written and fulfilled by your life. Let God's word, ulitin ko, become like poetry, written and fulfilled by your life. Diba? Ang sweet. God has written poems for us. God has written poems for the world, for the people of the world. And you are one of His poems. You are like a poetry written for people to know Him, for people to see Him. Diba, for example, ikaw, babae, ligawan ka ng lalaki na binigyan ka ng poem. Diba sweet? Cringy, pero sweet. Lalang. Ganyan. So, diba? Look how sweet God is to His people. Not many people today are poets. Diba sa sinaunang panahon, meron talaga silang mga poem, yung mga time ni, pangalan nito, William Shakespeare. Kasi mga ganon, di ba? So, i-imagine nyo, you are that poem that God has written for others. So, be the poem. Charot. When you say, let His word become like poetry, meaning let His word become alive in you. Remember, become doers of the word. In verse 24, you perceive, in verse 24, you perceive how God sees you in the mirror of the word, but then you go out and forget your divine origin. So, ulitin ko, verse 24. You perceive how God sees you in the mirror of the word. Alam mo, you know how God sees you. But then you go out and forget your divine origin. You go out, tumalikod ka sa, anong Tagalog ng mirror? Tumalikod ka sa salamin at kinalimutan mo ang banal na orihin. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways. Oo. So parang, when you turn back, it's like, you're not just turning back from the mirror, you're turning your back against God. Ganyan. So, you go out with your friends, you tell them about God, you share them about the good things that He's done, you share how it is to live in Jesus' way. But apart from just saying it, you have to do it yourself as well. They have to see it in you. They have to see in your life that God is in you. They have to see that shining light in your life. Yan ba? That's how you become set apart. That's how you glow in the Lord, in the radiance of God. That's how we are, how we should be. So how can you expect them to follow the Bible if you yourself are not doing it, diba? Or let's say they don't see you. They don't see you. But remember, God sees you. Yeah, you preach these things, but then, when you're alone, iba yung ginagawa mo. Okay lang, hindi naman nila ako nakikita. Yeah, they don't see you, but God sees you. God sees your heart. Remember that. How can you be blessed bountifully if you are not faithful to God's ways? So, ask yourself this question. What image am I portraying? And what image am I living? Iba yung portray sa living. What image am I showing others? And what image am I living right now? You ask your question. You ask yourself that question. Just one last, another verse is in Matthew 7:3-5. You can use whatever, I'm just using the Passion Translation right now kasi ito yung nandito na Bible sa harap ko. Matthew, so if you can follow with your Bibles, please. Matthew 7:3-5. Why would you focus on the flaw in someone else's life and not fail to notice the glaring flaws of your own? How could you say to your friend, let me show you where you're wrong, when you're guilty of even more? You're being hypercritical and a hypocrite. First, acknowledge your own blind spots and deal with them, and then you'll be capable of dealing with the blind spot of your friend. Yeah. So, before you start, like, you're lecturing someone else because he did this and did that, look at yourself first. Maybe you're also doing the same thing he did. Okay? Number 2, snap and review. So, di ba ang first, pag mag-selfie tayo, check your image. Next, picture ka na. Picture, and then review. So, snap and review. You snap your selfies, and then you view all of the photos, and then keep the good ones and delete the bad ones. That's what we do. So, in 2 Corinthians 13 verse 5, sa notes ko, naka-NLT version ako. 2 Corinthians 13 verse 5, examine yourselves to see if your faith is genuine. Test yourselves. Surely you know that Jesus Christ is among you. If not, you have failed the test of genuine faith. So once again, examine yourselves if totoo ba yung faith niyo. Another verse, Lamentations 3 verse 40. Wait lang. Kita nyo na room. Lamentations 3 verse... Kunin ko na yung aking NIV. Wait lang, guys. I'm kind of... Ayan. 3 verse 40. Let us examine our ways and test them, and let us return to the Lord. So, review what you've been doing in your life. Have you been following God living in His ways? Have you shared God's love today? Or have you been unkind, judgmental, or have you hurt someone today? Ask yourself those questions. What have I been doing today? Sometimes in my life, there are some days when sometimes I feel na, sorry Lord, I've been judgmental to the life of this person. Like, I've judged what she did, when in fact, I think I did the same thing before. Yan good. Sometimes kasi being Christians, we become so self-righteous, or sometimes we become we think that we're nearly perfect when we're not. Kasi we think na, kasi we're in the ministry, we're in church, we're active. Sometimes, we think ba na we are higher than others, when in fact we're not. We should be serving them. Because it's servant leadership, diba? So, check mo yung self mo. As in, promise, ilang beses na talaga sa life ko na parang, may mag-share sa akin, Jill, ganyan. Tapos, you tell him na ganito, dapat ganito ka, ganyan. And then, at the end of the day, I think ba, hello, deep inside, I felt so righteous. I mean, hindi ko alam kung ma-explain ko siya na maayos, pero yung deep inside, I feel so, ganito yung gawin mo, dapat ganyan. Pero, when I was all alone, I thought to myself, no, wait lang. Bakit parang yung feeling ko kanina when I was supposed to be sharing to her about God's love, I was like being someone above her, telling her na you're doing wrong. Yan good. I mean, hindi siya yung in a loving way. It's like in an authoritative way na you're wrong. Ganyan. Which is a bit condemning for them. Yan good. So, sometimes we're being unkind with our words. Sometimes we become judgmental with others. Na sometimes we don't know, or unconsciously we've hurt them already. Ganyan nga. So let's check ourselves. Check your day today. How have you been today? How have you been interacting with other people? Sometimes we complain on how others treat us, or how rude, annoying, and critical others are. But have you thought about them, that probably they are just sad, depressed, and lonely? Perhaps they need that positive force in their life. Perhaps they need prayers. Perhaps they need God. Because I know a lot of people rant. Even just the simplest things in our lives. But those simple things for us might be great things for them. Because we don't live in the same lives. I grew up different from how you grew up. Ganyan nga. My experiences are different from the experiences of my sister. So, sometimes when we encounter people na they might be annoying, they might be rude, syempre, in a snap of a finger, human tendency natin is something negative, na yung parang i-clash ba, ganyan. Pero wait lang, baka naman they woke up with something. No, I mean, not woke up in the wrong side of bed. Maybe they woke up with a problem. Maybe they're living with a when they're sad. Maybe they're depressed. We don't know. Dito sa London, when I started working here, dito ko na appreciate yung if you've seen 13 Reasons Why, yeah, people say it's a bit depressing when you watch it. Hindi naman ako na-depressed, pero when I started working here, doon ko na-realize, doon ko siya na-appreciate yung when you come to the topic of bullying, kasi grabe talaga dito, like ang mental health ng mga bata dito. Imagine, bata pa ha, 12 years old, 13 years old, they just cutting themselves is just normal. Ganyan nga. I mean, makagayan ko minsan dito, bakit man sila ganyan dito? I mean, can't they not adjust. Hindi ko makuha yung term. Can't they like it's in the tip of my tongue. Basta, kumaga, hindi sila kumaga, kung tayo, I mean, ako may mga problema, ako nung high school, mga ganyan, elementary, mga ganon. Pero I never thought of killing myself. Sa atin, yeah, there are suicides. But it's not that rampant. Like, siguro mga 10% lang siguro. Dito, it's like 70% of teenagers cut themselves. May isa ko pasyente dati. She came in with something na hindi about mental health. And then, I saw yung mga red dito. Akala ko, minsan, alam mo yung ballpen, tas magayan ka, di ba, minsan pag magayan ka, tas sensitive yung skin mo, mag-lock ka siya na red, tas magburot. Ganyan lang ba? Akala ko ganun lang siya. So, I asked her, oh, what happened to your arm? And she said, I cut them. Tas yung yung normal lang, pagkasabi, yung parang, yung common, it's, di parang ganyan lang ba? Di-cut ko self ko. Ganun lang. Walang, no, hiya. Wala lang. It's normal lang for themselves, which is not good. Yan, good. So, I mean, okay, malaya na siya. So, I mean, just review. Don't right away be judgmental to other people on how they react on you. Instead, be considerate, be kind. Still be kind even if they are unkind. So, don't let it all be about you. Selfie is all about you, but don't let it be all about you. Sometimes when we've been in church for a long time, ito na yung sinasabi ko pala, we become self-righteous and judgmental towards others when we shouldn't be. Unknowingly or unintentionally, we tell them off or scold them, but fail to see that they need someone to listen to them, love them, and show them who God is. Ito yung mga people na they come to us and then they share about the things that are bothering them, their problems, the things they've done wrong. And what we do, sometimes we tell them off, no, mali yan. Yes, we should tell them that in a loving way, but not in a condemning way. I mean, sometimes, we become too, yun nga, yung sabi ko kanina, we become too self-righteous, na sometimes, maybe all they need is just someone to listen to them, someone to pray for them. Ganyan nga. Kasi tayong tendency sa atin minsan, kasi alam natin kung anong tama at mali, di ba? I know they also know that. Tayo alam natin yung Bible, ganyan. So, sinasabi natin sa kanila. Pero, minsan, yung ating motive is not to share the love to them, but sometimes our motive is to tell them na, mali yan. Hindi ganyan. So, let's be more kind. Let's be more loving. So, just like in selfies, keep the goodness in you and remove the things that keeps you from walking in the light. Keep the love and delete the hate. Okay? So, third, post it. So, when you found the best photo of your selfie, you post it on your social media. So, check Psalm 71 verses 15 to 16. Wait lang. Psalm 71 verses 15 to 16. I couldn't begin to count the times you've been there for me. With the skill of a poet, I'll never run out of things to say of how you faithfully kept me from danger. I will come forth in your mighty strength, O my Lord God. I'll tell everyone that you alone are the perfect one. Psalms 22 verse 22. Psalm 22 verse 22, I will praise your name before all my brothers. As my people gather, I will praise you in their midst. Hebrews 10, 24 to 25. Hebrews 10, 24 to 25. Discover creative ways to encourage others and to motivate them towards acts of compassion, doing beautiful works as expressions of love. This is not the time to pull away and neglect meeting together, as some have formed the habit of doing, because we need each other. In fact, we should come together even more frequently, eager to encourage and urge each other onward as we anticipate that day drawing. And lastly, 1 Thessalonians 5:14. 1 Thessalonians 5:14. We appeal to you, dear brothers and sisters, to instruct those who are not in their place of battle. Be skilled at gently encouraging those who feel themselves inadequate. Be faithful to stand your ground. Help the weak to stand again. Be quick to demonstrate patience with everyone. So, sa lahat na yun, sa lahat ng verses na yun, sasabi ko lang, share God's love. Swag. Share God's love. Testify and encourage others. Be a blessing to others. Yes, we may fail at times, but God picks us up every time. Talk about grace. We are undeserving, but God still loves us unconditionally. Influence others to Christ. In other words, when you say, post it, live and love the Jesus way. So, post it is like telling the world about God's love, sharing God's love. Not just telling, but sharing, doing everything about God's love. Talk about His grace. Tell them how gracious God is. Tell them how faithful God has been to your life. Tell them all the things, even the smallest things that God has given you. And they will see how blessed you are, and they will be blessed as well. Diba? We are the light of the world. So we should keep that light shining. Keep the fire burning. And so people will see how God lives in us, and they would want to see the same God in their lives. They would want to receive the same love that they see in you. Even if you're stressed out, even if you're problematic, even if you don't have money, even if you feel like everything is falling apart, but still you're smiling, still you're praising God. Because you know that God is more powerful than anything else in the world. Because you know that God is greater than everything else that is in here. Recently, I went to the Hillsong conference, and one of the things that struck me the most is that, ewan ko kung, hindi ko alam if this is still connected here ha, pero I just wanted to share it. Parang bigla lang siyang ni-reveal ni Lord sa akin. Why would you be afraid of the devil when, or why would you be afraid of stepping on the devil when God is in you, when God who is greater than the devil is in you? Yan nga. It's just sometimes we know how faithful, we know how powerful, we know how great God is. But sometimes we limit His power in a box. We limit His power in our thoughts when it's more than our thoughts. It's beyond thoughts. God is beyond everything else that we can think of. So, post it, share it, give out His love. So once again, when you take a selfie, take an in-depth selfie as well. So let me just review the steps. Not the steps, the points rather. Check your image. Check if you're doing what you're talking. Second, snap and review. Review what you've been doing. Review your day. Review what you've been telling people. And third, post it. Simply share God's love. Simply just live the Jesus way. So, I hope it's an encouragement. This is an encouragement to you guys. The questions I've asked earlier, ask yourselves. You can go into groups right now and talk about it, or you can just pray on your own, check on your own, talk with God, have a one-on-one talk with God, and just pour it out all on Him. Okay, so I hope that was something, and I hope you've learned something. I hope that you will be encouraged to live the Jesus way more than you've ever had, and just continue to pray, just continue to be faithful and cling on to God always. So that's it. I'm not good with ending things, so isasabi ko lang, this is the end of my sharing. Thank you for your time, guys. If you like the video, please subscribe. Shut up. Oh, yun lang. Sige. Bye!